Back, everybody. All week, we are focusing on earthquakes in our region, everything from how to be prepared, or how prepared our region is, I should say, to the science behind them.
Seismologists say in the next month, we're actually due for a major event that nobody's going to feel. It's called a slow slip, and we spoke with the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network about how it works.
It takes place over 2 or 3 weeks rather than over a few seconds like a real earthquake. But it is fundamentally the same thing, a fracture in the ground that very slowly moves rather than a sudden jerk like in a real earthquake.
Well, the slip moves the ground as much as a 6.0 quake, and we actually just had one about 13 months ago. You know, there's already a system that gives an early warning that a quake is coming, but it's not up and running in Washington just yet.
Yeah, it's called ShakeAlert, and it's currently going through testing all along the West Coast. And given recent earthquakes in Southern California and right here in Western Washington, some say the system can't come soon enough.
This is a test. Earthquake, earthquake.
It may not sound pleasant, but it certainly does get your attention.
Moderate shaking expected in 30 seconds.
And if an earthquake were to happen, this system called ShakeAlert could save your life.
The ShakeAlert system is online now, both in California and actually all the way up here to Oregon and Washington.
ShakeAlert started as an idea back in 2008. It is meant to give you several seconds to up to a minute warning of an earthquake coming. But what was once an idea is very close to reality, with hundreds of earthquake sensors placed all along the West Coast that transmit information in real time.
So that includes new seismometers and the what we call the telemetry, the ability to get the data back from areas that are gaps in our coverage.
ShakeAlert even came to life, giving an early warning during the recent quake in Western Washington.
It was about 10 seconds for Seattle, a warning that the S wave was coming.
You may be asking, how do I get an early warning? Right now, ShakeAlert is only available for researchers and vetted public agencies. For example, Seattle Public Utilities, Seattle City Light, and Harborview have access to it. But they're still working on the kinks before it's widely available to the public.
It's simply that the system is still under development. It's, you know, we're looking at making sure that it doesn't release false alerts, for example.
Or not getting alerts at all, like the ShakeAlert pilot app in LA County.
The reason for that was that the shaking in Los Angeles County, which is away from the epicenter, was not deemed to be expected to be large enough, and in fact it wasn't large enough to be damaging in LA, so it didn't issue an alert for that.
Soon after, the USGS said they will recalibrate the app to make sure smaller quake alerts are sent out as well.
He couldn't help but to cry and pout, for each store's sign read, "Bulls, keep out."
Earthquake, duck cover and hold
Children,
on. Strong
there's
shaking expected.
Duck cover and hold.
The other issue is making sure that you get that critical information fast enough with no latency or delays. Tobin says the USGS, city, state, and emergency management, cell companies, and corporations are all working to make that happen.
And I think within 1 to 2 years, perhaps even faster than that, we will be at a point where we can release an app that people could download for free.
But here, there is still work to be done, including adding more seismic monitoring stations.
We are improving our network for earthquake early warning. That means we have a lot of stations to put out there, and we're doing about 100 a year.
Earthquake, earthquake.
Hopefully, a few precious seconds in warning will be enough to make life-saving decisions. Boy, hopefully, right? Well, many legislators are seeing the benefit of this program as well. According to Tobin, the USGS total appropriation was about $16 million towards ShakeAlert. A bulk of the funding, though, does come from the federal government. But for the first time, the state also contributed about $1 million to help enhance the ShakeAlert network. But how exactly does it work? Coming up at 5 o'clock, Q13's